This video demonstrates how to create and work with 3D PDFs with Trimble Business Center version 3.21. Here in the 3D view you can see a surface that was generated from 4 VX total station locations. Next, we will launch the 3D PDF command that is available in the drafting ribbon. Note that this command is licensed to the advanced drafting as well as the aerial photogrammetry modules. Here we can set the username information. Also, we can add a description. For example, this is the initial stockpile before we started any earthwork. The company information is actually read from the project settings. So if you go to the project settings under company information, you will notice that information here. If you modify that information in the project settings, next time you launch the 3D PDF command, those information will get updated. You can also include an icon in your 3D PDF report as well. Saying OK, we will initiate the creation of a 3D PDF. Notice after the PDF has been created, you can view the 3D PDF in your Adobe Reader. Note that this is a free version of Adobe Reader that is freely available for download. Also, notice that in the 3 view on the left hand side, I have the ability to turn on and off elements. As you can see, those changes being reflected in the 3D space here. Also, you can, scrolling your mouse, you can zoom in and out, as well as the rotate in 3D view. Note that the company information is written on the top, as well as the project name. The icon for the image is actually the company website. Also, the description that we said, this is the initial stockpile, is written in the field here, as well as the user information, time and date when the 3D PDF was published, as well as the icon to the Trimble Business Center page. Also, you have some predefined views here to help you easily navigate through your project. Note that with the 3D PDF you get some measurement and annotating tools by default. So if we turn off surfaces in this case, we can simply activate a 3D measurement tool. So if this bar is not showing up in your Adobe Reader by default, you can always access it to right click and tools and 3D measurement tool. Here you have different snap options and different measurement types. So let's say we're going to snap to the endpoints. Notice that as we go over the 3D space, the snap indicator shows on. So let's say we want to measure the distance between station 102 and station 100, and we can place a measurement label here as well. Same here, if we want to measure from the top of the stockpile, let's say point 233, to get a slope distance to the bottom of the stockpile, we can do this simply as so. Notice that in the view 3, the measurement tool has been displayed here. If you go back out of our 3D measurement tool and go back to one of our default views, we can again perform a different measurement. So this time we can measure distance from stations 103 to 104 and again display a label here. Now we can go back to our previous view and measurements that we have already made. Another interesting capability in Adobe Reader is also the ability to annotate and make comments. So you can simply do that with the Add 3D Comment tool, and say you want to add a comment here and say this is the top of the stockpile. Notice that the 3D comment has been saved as well. As you rotate and navigate the object, the 3D comment persists. And it's also created here in the 3D comment view. Let's go back to our default view. One interesting feature is also the ability to use cross sections. So we can show cross sections here, and if we turn on the cross section properties, notice that we can simply move this offset value here, and basically it will perform a cutting plane through our surface. Notice if we rotate this in 3D view, this is essentially a cutting plane. We can also change the axis to which the plane is cutting as we change to the x-axis and move this bar around. The cutting plane is working in the 3D view. You can turn off the point layer, and from this perspective we can see nicely the cross section through our stockpile. Also, we can perform measurements at this point and see how long is the stockpile on the top part, as well as what is the distance on the bottom part. Again, these measurements get saved, so even if we go back to our default view, we can always move back and go to our stored cross-section view. One of the best things about this 3D PDF capability is that you can simply now save 3D PDF or save as and share with your project members, and they will have the ability to perform additional measurements and extract additional information as necessary without having to be an expert on Trimble Business Center or a professional software. Again, it's a great project communication tool that is really easy to use and accessible to everybody. That concludes our video on how to work with the 3D PDFs inside Trimble Business Center version 3.21.